Dumb fun.
All right. Should be an exciting week. We have
This
Solomon.
week.
Yeah, we have Solomon.
Well, I've been emotionally prepping myself to once again speak to a former lover of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't spoken to him since the show ended. Things ended rather strangely between us, and I think I can finally move forward after speaking with him. I mean, I've obviously moved on. I'm very, very, very in love with my husband, Caro Alexander, famous director.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have loose ends that we have to tie up,
Sure.
We all have to, we all have to bury the hatchet.
Yeah, I know I've sent many a letter to an ex-girlfriend just trying to tie up loose ends or try and, make sure that they won't
Usually
say
don't.
certain things or tell certain stories,
I'm
stuff
sorry,
like
what?
that. Just trying to make sure that they won't, tell stories that would put me in a bad light, about, just how I treated my pets or anything like that. But so
Is there something to worry about in the way you treated your pets?
we were all young. We've all been young. And none of that, don't worry, I'm not going to put any of this on the podcast. This will all be edited out and we'll start with the theme song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So why don't we just start with the by the way, I want to say I love pets. I love all pets. I love
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I have an ocelot in my home.
you do. I see him kind of poking to the Zoom every once in a while.
Yes, I say, get back, Jelly Bean.
Yeah.
I can't have you here.
Yeah, but he does look like he's kind of eating your pillow back there.
Oh no, that's my pet rabbit. He's eating it.
All right, my bad. No, it's okay.
Let go of the professor.
Your rabbit's name is the professor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because he's so smart.
All right, and we're still on Disney Plus, right? Pull up the show on Disney Plus.
No, it is switched over to HBO.
Okay.
HBO now.
That's still pretty good. I mean, I was excited about the Disney thing, but HBO is still pretty good.
I know. HBO is actually a pretty big deal.
I used to watch Brain Games growing up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't remember what that is. Brain Games?
Yeah, it was a show where they would make you solve puzzles, and for some reason, the man was very sad about it. Whenever you'd finish the puzzle, he'd say, "Brain Games is now over."
Oh well, it's like you solving the puzzle forced him to ejaculate.
Presumably, that's what I always assumed as a child.
He's upset that the logical sexuality is now ended. See, I'm the only person in the world. I'm actually the sole viewer of the show Looking on HBO.
And how's that going?
It was canceled.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Cancel culture comes for everything.
Comes for everything, doesn't it? So we love HBO. Clearly, hopefully they'll be happy with this little bit that we said.
I mean,
about
hopefully, if all of you tune in on HBO, they'll even talk to us about some kind of revival.
A revival, a reboot. I'll do any of it. I just want to be involved. All right, I'm gonna play the theme song to the show, and then we'll get started. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Fanny Falls Demon Hunter, the podcast. I am Topher Jason.
I'm Letty Lamora. How is everyone on this evening? Please forgive me. My pet ocelot is sitting on my lap. So if suddenly you can't hear me, it's because he is sitting in front of the microphone.
Yeah, so cute though.
Yes, well, he's a cat.
There he goes, kind of wrapping his tail around your throat there.
I think that's probably fine.
It's like that story about the the boa constrictor. They're like, oh, he's measuring you. He's seeing if he can eat you. He's prepping you to eat you.
Well, when I had a pet boa constrictor, he didn't eat anybody, but he did make himself the length of the refrigerator, and he ate the refrigerator, so we all could not eat any food.
Oh no, that's actually like would be very funny in a cartoon, but probably must have been just an actual logistical nightmare.
Yes, we had nothing to eat in the family, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but I'm sure. So, like, Kyra, what do you do in that situation? Like, first of all, did the boa have to die?
No, we released it into the wild, which I'm sure is fine.
And then Cairo had to go out and get a new refrigerator, some food.
Yeah. We drove, we drove up north to Scotland where there's a lot of greenery and a lot of fresh, vibrant nature, and we just released him to the Highlands.
You can't do it in Ireland. You can't do it in Ireland because St. Patrick, he said no thank you on that stuff.
It's too far.
Yeah.
I
understand. I do understand.
It's too far. I didn't want to have a St. Patrick situation on our hands. Where some naughty Irishman starts playing the boa constrictor away.
Mm-hmm. Well, Letty, boy, your lynx is just all in the camera. I'm sorry, your ocelot. They hate that, don't they?
My lynx died. Please have respect.
What was your lynx's name again?
Oh, my lynx name. Sorry, but tongue tied. Okay. His name was Dr. Almond.
Dr. Almond. That's right. That beautiful light brown color of his fur. Well, Letty, I'm coming to you today from beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Well, you remember last episode I was sort of hitchhiking with the gentleman Spider.
Yes.
Yeah. He said he had some business to take care of in Arkansas. So, of course, my eventual goal is to get to come visit you in London, like you invited me to 20 years ago.
I might be gone.
And there's no telling when I'll be there, though. So you can't say you'll be gone.
Ibiza might open up again. So
I know, but not yet. So I'm working my way there. So I'm in Hot Springs, right? Me and Spider get to Springs. He says, I got to go take care of some business. I'm like, do you want me to come with you? He says, no, I tail him anyways, because you don't know if he needs help, right? One thing, he goes to handle his business. One thing leads to another. Some people end up dead, right? That's not the end of the story. Here's the thing. I'm in Hot Springs, Arkansas, right? This little town. And what do people love out of little towns? True crime, right? So I have started a second podcast that's all about what happened in the sleepy town of Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I'm working on...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but weren't you a witness to what happened?
Who's to say what happened? Was it the baker's boy down the street?
But you know that Spider killed people and that you apparently watched it.
Spider is one of many threads that we're following on the podcast. There's also, as I mentioned, the baker's boy down the street.
Who's this baker's boy that you speak of?
So the baker. The baker has a boy.
I think that's problematic.
And people always wonder he's no, but he's always covered in white powder, and people say it's flour, but what if it's cocaine? What if it's drugs? What if the cartel is involved? There's another one of the threads that I'm investigating on my podcast. You know what happened this week, but what will happen next week? That's the name of the podcast.
Are you hosting it alone?
I'm hosting it alone, sort of NPR style, and I'm doing sort of a lot of interviews with the family of the deceased, with Spider, and
so you're still in contact with Spider. He's rather dangerous.
Well, again, who's to say? Again, that people said that about Adnan. People said Adnan was dangerous, but I think he's fine. He didn't kill that woman, we're pretty sure.
We're about 95%.
95
certain that it was Jay, but that we don't know.
We don't know. So that's what I'm sort of. I found myself in the midst of true crime, and I thought, let's turn this into podcast gold. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I would say, as long as it does not interfere with this podcast, I give you a blessing to do it. I am afraid that the interference will come from Spider inevitably murdering you.
Well, Spider skipped town. He's no longer in Arkansas, and
so that's kind of a problem, isn't it?
Granted, he does know that I'm headed to London. So,
yeah, he does know that, doesn't he?
And he does know. I gave him your address. I told him I'm going to this place. Can you take me here? He said, no, I can take you to Arkansas, but he kept the piece of paper with your address on it. I wrote it down to show him.
You gave him the address to my chateau.
But just because I was asking, can you take me to this place? And he said, no, I'm in a truck. We can't do that. So I'll take you to Arkansas. So anyway, so now I'm still don't worry, I'm still headed to you. I'm just working on this podcast. I maybe have Spider hot on my trail. Of course, we can't forget the wolves I used to live with are hot on my trail.
I don't know if the wolves are a problem anymore.
The wolves are not happy that I abandoned them, and they consider me family. And when wolves, you don't leave a pack. Like lone wolf, that's sort of a misnomer because it doesn't happen. There's no such thing as a lone wolf. There's wolf pack, and so they are sort of it's. I don't want to say the wolves are like the mafia, but once you get in, there's no getting out. You know what I mean?
That feels like a problem for you too, isn't it?
It is a problem in it, and so I'm headed. Anyways, I'm still headed towards you, and it shouldn't be a problem that both
I
Spider
might
and the
have to
wolves are on my
move
trail.
because this development is making me think that I do have to move.
I don't think you have to move. I mean, you have security at the house, right? Cairo has security at the house. I mean, I understand. I understand. Recently, we learned that the royal family would not give protection to Meghan and Harry because they were already providing you with that protection, you and Cairo.
Well, that was a bit of a controversy, and unfortunately, we had to give the security back to the palace.
Yeah, and they're still not giving it to Meghan and Harry.
No, they're not.
That was part of your condition.
Yeah, the people just wanted it back, and I said, "Oh, cancel culture coming for me again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want? So me, a woman,
Thank you. Yeah,
in England,
mm-hmm.
can't even be protected in my very own chateau that has a moat.
Mm-hmm. And you are, as a reminder, you are from Champaign, Illinois.
So that's another thing. I'm an outsider. I'm a foreigner.
That's true.
So I said to them, is this not xenophobic that you all want to attack me? And they said, no one's trying to attack you. Literally, no one said that. It's kind of unnecessary that you even have that. Like, who even really are you? And I said, enough of this bullying. I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional because, it just, hurts so much to be, so bullied, by the public. Like, Meghan Markle was crying and,
that made you jealous, didn't it?
Basically, me too.
Yeah, basically you too. Because I know you have that story about you and Meghan Markle were at the same Suits audition.
We were at the same Suits audition, and I didn't get it. And I wonder if it's because I, one, didn't read the script, and two, I wore a suit.
And the tie, a men's suit, traditionally?
I thought that I was doing kind of a fun, chic, Marlene Dietrich style spin on femininity, masculinity. They told me that I looked like Groucho Marx and that I should leave.
That's a compliment in its own way. He's a legend.
So I said.
Yeah. And I know that you, for auditions, you keep a lab coat and sort of nerdy glasses in your trunk, and you keep sort of all these different costumes in your trunk.
I mean, when I lived in Los Angeles, I had 2 caboodles worth of props and costumes. And I would just, read the side, really quickly go from one to the other and say oh, it's a doctor. I would say oh, it's a clown. I have to get my makeup on. Oh my God, it's a Julia Roberts part. I have to go and whack her, so I can get her part instead. Things like that.
Who got that clown part?
What's that?
Who got that clown part?
It was for the film Drop Dead Fred, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Imaginary friend role. The original sides, I read them as, more of a clown, but I guess it was just supposed to be a crazy man. You
dressed as sort of Pantalones type character from the traditional,
Sábado Gigante? Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah, I did a Telemundo style clown. And they said, we're looking for more of a cheeky bastard.
Yeah, and also it short answer to clue you in that the Fred was in the name of the project, so it was clearly written for a man.
I thought it could be Winifred.
That's a fair point.
I'm sorry that I've seen the musical Once Upon a Mattress.
Well,
which I also auditioned for.
Yeah, how'd that go? Were you in it? I don't know. I don't know musicals.
I mean, is anyone really in a musical? Can one ever actually be cast in a musical, because the musical just sort of belongs to the ether?
Okay, have any musicals belonged to you?
Which ones haven't? Are you asking, did I actually set foot on the West End production of Once Upon a Mattress?
I guess, yeah.
No.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen, you're doing great now. Not so much, not career wise, but you married rich.
Well, yeah, and you're doing fine. Namaste to you.
Thank you, and namaste to you
Thank
and
you.
you and your ocelot.
Thank you.
So why don't we jump in and bring our guest into the mix?
I'm a little nervous.
Yes, what an exciting guest. You guys know him as the hunky male lead from Fanny Falls Demon Hunter. He, of course, played the mummy, Nathan, aka, well, we're going to find out more about his backstory in this episode, aren't we? That's why you brought him on this episode. Please welcome Solomon Buckton, everybody. Solomon!
Oh, hello there. Hey.
Hi,
Great to be here.
Can you put Solomon on, please?
Are you doing
Yeah,
a
this is
character?
Solomon.
Are you doing like a
It's so
little
good
buffoon?
to talk to you guys again. I've missed the heck out of you.
Okay, now let me tell just for the listener, this is not Solomon. Solomon played.
No, I'm Solomon.
Okay,
Solomon J. Buckton.
You
Okay, the
one
J,
and only.
The
you
J.
don't
I'm
you don't
noticing.
sound like I thought Jay. I thought his middle name was Nairobi.
Oh, I see what's happening here. Y'all thought I was the other Solomon Buckton, didn't
Solomon Nairobi Buckton.
Yeah, because that happened on the set a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the set. So you
What?
you worked on our show?
Yeah, guys, I'm surprised
sorry,
you don't
I'm sorry,
remember
I'm
me.
sorry.
We
Are
worked
you-
together.
Are you having a laugh right now?
No, it's me, Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon J. Buckton. Why does that
Yeah,
sound
the
so
grip.
familiar?
The grip
You were a grip on Fanny
I'm a
Falls?
grip. Yeah.
Oh,
on the
You
show
guys-
that we worked on, the same one.
Yeah.
Letty, below the line.
What?
He was
You
below
heard
the
my
line.
voice all the time. I was always yelling stuff, like points. I'd shout when someone's carrying something pointy.
Yeah, that
You
and that
know?
took off later, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
accidentally left it in a couple times.
Yeah, and then Chris Hardwick sort of ran with it. That was a big thing.
yeah,
for
and then he got canceled, and we kind of stopped making that joke, and then he got uncanceled, so we were making it again.
Well, okay. Well, okay. So let me unpack what sort of happened here. So I've been writing
I'm
these.
gonna need you to unpack it because I'm fucking fuming right now because I think that you guys are having a laugh.
Yeah, you're getting a
taking
little
the piss.
cockney. You're so mad.
Well, I just told you I drove up to Scotland.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I got out the set directory and I wrote to the address that I wrote a letter to Solomon asking him to come on the show. I got a letter back that said yes. Solomon, are you staying in Solomon Inn's old place? Is that what's happening? Did he rent you his place or something? Because I wrote it to his address. Are you staying in? Did he sell you his old place?
Oh, I live in the guest house.
Okay, yeah, that explains it.
Well, it's
Okay.
his mom's place.
What are you, Cato? Why are you living in his guest house for?
That
I
mail
do know
situation must be
Kato.
a nightmare between the two of you.
Yeah,
guys.
me and Kato, we play poker together.
You guys are in like an all guest house game, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the guest house gang we call ourselves.
It's like you guys and the
It's
the
just the
fresh
two
the
of us
fresh
so far.
prince.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go around bragging about it, but
I don't know.
So
He's
it's
trying
like-
to get Sinbad to come because he was a house guest.
Oh, that's a technicality, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's why he won't come.
So Solomon J. Buckton, you didn't, of course, I apologize to the listener, you didn't play Nathan on the show. You were a grip on Fanny Falls.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
can't believe
it's
you
for-
guys don't remember me. I was always holding the light thing,
Is that
Yeah,
what your
the,
job
the
was?
bouncer board. I mean, my job, I did a lot of things.
yeah, let me guess, you were wearing shorts a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
that's
Cargo
shorts. I had
ones.
like a little
yeah,
utility
cargo
belt.
shorts. Yeah,
You
you're
were,
describing
you were in those shorts where you could zip off the bottom.
Yeah,
Mhm,
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah. Okay, so we have I guess
I was the one who was always like sitting on the floor, messing with a zipper, trying to get him to detach.
I'm sorry. Topher, can I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah, Solomon, do you mind giving us just a second?
Yeah.
What's up?
What the actual H is
I-
this all about?
I didn't look.
What in the Queen's good country is this all about?
Please don't use that kind of language.
I
We're-
can't
we won't do as well if we get the explicit tag.
I can't. I'm fuming. I'm about to make it NC-17 this podcast.
Listen, I know that this is the only time you could record this week. This is the only time I've gotten to Wi-Fi all week. So I think that we just have to proceed with the podcast and talk to the people. May want to know like what it's like to be like a little person in Hollywood, like one of the like dumb, stupid little people who's not worth anything. Like we always talk to the
Well, you shouldn't talk about
celebrities,
Peter
the creators.
Dinklage that way. That's not very nice.
Well, but also like maybe like the the below the line people, the sort of the tech crew, and sort.
All right, no,
maybe
that's
people wanna
fine.
know.
I just emotionally prepped myself for an entirely different show. But that's fine. Let's talk to this Solomon Guest House J.
Hey, Solomon, we're back.
Oh, yeah. I know. Oh, you guys weren't muted. I heard everything.
Oh, Yeah, I didn't. We did, if we were muted, we couldn't have heard each other, so that doesn't even make
we
sense.
wouldn't have, we wouldn't be able to hear each other.
You should have
Yeah.
muted. You honestly should have
I
muted.
didn't. It should have been on me, but I was in shock. My feelings were hurt so badly, so quickly. I was sort of stunned, like a fish out of
Imagine
water.
how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we're not feeling great either, Solomon, if we're being honest.
I was excited about this because I missed you guys. We used to hang out like every day. We worked together.
Oh yeah, you're describing two different things there, hanging out and working together.
But we stood around a lot, both of us.
We did.
Hey, that's what they pay you for. You know, they don't pay you for the acting; they pay you for the standing around.
We truly stood around.
We truly stood
But
around.
we had like
Yeah.
inside jokes. Like Letty, you would always be like, no eye contact.
I
You know?
Yeah, I did do that as I guess it was kind of
That
a
was our
joke.
thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
I would always try to
definitely.
kind of nod at you and you'd be like, no eye contact.
Yeah, definitely. So funny how the joke was inside.
It was. I thought so.
And then
Yeah.
I think I remember that I had a joke with you. I had a very funny joke with you where I would come up with from craft services with whatever they're serving that day, and I would say, "Is this gluten free? This has to be gluten free." And then I would sort of shove it in your chest and I'd say, "Make sure it's gluten free and get it back to me."
Yeah, and I'd always be like, that's kind of somebody else's job. I'm a
Yeah.
grip. It's not.
Oh,
Not
that's
really
a
what I
very
do.
funny joke. Yeah.
But hey, inside jokes, you know.
I still have some of those pieces of bread. I got a whole little shoebox full of mementos.
Really.
Very
I
sentimental.
love that show. That meant a lot to me.
Wow.
I guess let's talk about first of all, let's explain to not me or Letty because we're in the industry, but maybe some of the
Definitely.
other people, what is a grip exactly?
That's an excellent question. A question I get constantly and one that I have to answer all the time from my mother.
I'm sure every Thanksgiving, I'm sure you have to answer that question.
Yeah, and she's not to say she's like senile or losing it or whatever. She has crystal clear memories. She remembers all of my nieces and nephews' names, even though there's a ton of them. Can't remember what a fucking grip does. So
Yeah.
Well, who can possibly be held accountable to that knowledge?
I guess she should just stop asking. Frankly,
Maybe you could get it framed for her and give it to Christmas. Give it
Yeah,
like,
oh,
like a
that'd be cool. A
definition.
little like poster,
yeah.
like
And
that Dr. Evil speech that all
Like
the
that.
cool college kids had.
Yeah, it'd be like that, but with instead of a picture of him with his pinky to his mouth, it'll be you like holding a mic or
Nope.
some tape.
Well, okay, so what a grip basically is, we work with electric. We're like the forces of dark and light. So electric brings the light, and we counterbalance that. So we're either like holding the boards or blocking the light out. Well, we also rig up things where basically
Wow.
anything that's not electric that requires putting together. That's kind of what we do.
Why don't they just make the light less and then they don't have to have
Yeah,
dark?
Well,
They
because
just-
that's not what they get paid to do. They just bring the light. The way things work in Hollywood, things are very specialized, so that instead of having one person say go up, put the lights where they belong, and then mess with the lights, they go up, they put the lights where they belong, and then they stand around.
Oh
And me,
yeah,
I
yeah.
stand around while they're doing that. Then they stop working, then I start working. We never work at the same time on the same thing.
It's a lot of
We hate
standing
each
around
other.
again. Oh yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't know if y'all picked up on this, but grips and electric, arch enemies. We hate each other.
No, I
Wow.
never. I couldn't even tell you two apart. I didn't know that you guys
Oh,
hated
well.
each other.
That feels demeaning, Letty. I don't know if you should be
It's
saying
not
that.
demeaning. It's just sorry. I'm just an actor. I'm just speaking. I was just very into my role when I was on set, so I didn't really. I had like blinders on, like couldn't see what was around me.
And I was very concerned with being above the line. It was my first time being on a call sheet. I was, of course, was I number 12 on the call sheet, even though I was a series regular and there were only 6 of us? Yes. And that, hurt my feelings every day because there weren't always 12 actors in the show. And Colby
No,
would
there
find
really
a
weren't.
way to
Colby
put.
was really good at doing that, at really making sure you knew that so many people were above you and that you were replaceable.
Yeah, and you say people, but she would put inanimate objects on the set on the call sheet ahead of me. She once put a milkshake at
It
number
might have had a
7.
I remember
phone.
that was a top quality milkshake though.
Speaking of Kobe, the show creator and all around dictator in charge. Did you feel that you were treated well on set, Solomon?
Overall, I feel like I sort of thought I would get into Hollywood and sort of be like schmoozing a little more. I think that was what really bummed me out, was that I feel like I came here to make friends.
Oh,
A lot
you
of people just
did.
don't share that attitude.
No, a lot of people specifically don't do that.
Well, before Fanny Falls, I gripped on a lot of reality shows.
Oh,
And a
anything
lot
we
of
know?
people don't come there to make friends. And they're explicit about that. It's
Yeah.
really because I tend to be standing behind the camera when they're saying it. So it feels very pointed when they're like, I didn't come here to make friends, Solomon.
Yeah, they edit that part out a lot.
They do.
Yeah, they do. They do edit that part out.
Well, so what was it like? I guess when you auditioned to be a grip on the show, what was that process like for you?
Oh, I auditioned to be a key grip, didn't get it. They saw my potential. So basically, what all I came on, I walked onto a set, and they said, build a scaffold, and I was like, what? And they like, timers started, so I like scrambled, and I'm grabbing C stands and lollipops and all that good stuff.
Is that terminology from your job, or are you grabbing actual lollipops?
You know what a gobo is? It's like a big gobo.
Okay.
That's like those cameras that you put on your head.
They're like
Not a
the light.
GoPro. It's like a round part. You stick another part in, basically.
Okay. All
Have you ever
right.
played with like what are they called? Erector sets? Or even like the Tinker Toys. What were those
Erection
wooden ones
sets.
called?
Not in my family, we couldn't afford the erector set.
What about Connects?
Oh yes, the little plastic toys.
Yeah. So that's a lot of
yeah.
what it is. It's just
My
little
family-
connectors and poles.
My family had Kaniques, which were sort of an off-brand version of that, but
Panique, New York.
Kanique New York was that's why I used to always do that warm-up on the set.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they didn't quite always fit together. You always kind of had to just glue them, and then they were just sort of set like that. But you learned about building, but I guess not as well as the kids with the Connects, because they became grips. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the kids with the Erector sets became key grips.
Where does
definitely
the best boy fit into all of this?
Well, Electric and grips, we both have our own best boys.
Really?
That's right.
Okay.
So there's an Electric best boy, which sounds so much cooler than it is. And then you got a best boy grip.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
fascinating.
So your audition, you're grabbing C scopes and C holes, and
Right.
and then you're putting
Ears
together
and-
P holes with
yeah.
with Orlas, and then how does that go?
Well, they didn't tell me what to put together, so I thought I'd do like a flourish, and I kind of made it look like a church with like a cross on top,
Oh,
You were going for a
wow.
showstopper. You thought it was like a showstopper
exactly. I
round.
thought I was like
Wow.
demonstrating my knowledge, and they were just like, "What would we do with that?" And I was like, "I don't know. What did you want it for anyway?" And they were
What
like,
did
"You
you
didn't ask
want
that,
it?"
did you?"
Mm-hmm.
They were like,
That's a
"Not key
great
grip
question.
material."
Okay, so then once you were on the show, once you're working on the show, how was that? I mean, you said that you were treated well-ish. I mean, nobody was really treated well on that set, let's be honest. But do you have any fun memories of like working on the show?
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a lot of fond memories. I remember at the rap party when the table with a cake on it tipped over, and everybody was really upset about that. That's not really a fond memory. I think that's just my strongest one.
Yeah. Also,
Well, that was
shouldn't that
crazy.
be your job to make a table
It specifically isn't, and that's sort of what the whole thing was
Oh.
about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Because
everyone was yelling at you and saying
They were.
Why
Oh,
didn't
now
you
I
make
remember
sure-
you,
Why didn't
yeah.
you make sure the table could hold the cake?
Yeah, and I
God.
said I didn't. This is catering.
Because if I remember correctly, the cake was a full-size replica of Colby. It was
of our showrunner.
The cake
yeah.
boss made it.
That's
yes,
right.
the cake boss made it. It was one of his finest works of art, made
Uh-huh.
of fondant
Mhm.
and Rice Krispie
Mhm,
and
not a Rice
all
Krispie
kinds-
trebuchets.
Gosh, it was, and it really was beautiful. So, but when it fell down, it was a travesty because it felt like she had fallen down.
Yeah, but
And in a way, she had the Colby at the end of. I mean, I guess we'll talk about this as we get closer to the end of the show. But she just seemed to sort of. There was like there's a definite uphill climb of her erraticness, I guess we could say.
We could say that.
Yeah, but that didn't. I guess that didn't seem to affect you because who's in charge of all of you guys? Now, do you guys have like because we Colby was our boss, but do you guys have like a downstairs boss like Downton Abbey?
my boss was the key grip, and he works for the director.
Oh,
Okay,
you love
well.
the key grip.
Yeah. Did you guys have any will they or won't they moments?
No, I honestly, I didn't get along with that guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wasn't there a time on set when the lights fell down
Oh my God. I was hoping we wouldn't get into this.
and they hit an actor on the head? It was a guest role we had on. I don't remember.
It was Kristen
exactly.
Chenoweth.
Yeah.
Kristen Chenoweth. She got hit in the head. She had a
She had
concussion.
fractured her skull.
What
chipped
are
a
the, what are
tooth.
the
She had-
odds? She's so small. What are the odds that she would be the one to get hit?
I know. I
And
That's
know.
why it hurt even more because the light had a longer way to fall down.
It's sort what happened was it fell and it hit her on the head and it sort of hammered her all the way into the ground.
Yes,
So-
it did.
Like sort of 4'11" into the ground so that just the top of her hair was sticking up out of the ground.
And she couldn't do the role. We had to replace her. It was
couldn't.
horrifying.
She was fine physically. She got up, she said, "Oh, I'm fine." She dusted herself off, but emotionally she could not.
Yeah.
She wasn't fine, and we all knew it. Every single one of us there knew it.
And it was, I mean, that's part of my job. But again, it was Paul, the key grip, who I should have had that position. That light wouldn't have fallen.
Well, so you don't want to speak on that now and kind of clear the air.
No, I'll throw him right under the bus. It was, yeah. You're supposed to use safety chains on every single light, no matter how good you think you are at rigging and gripping. You got to have a safety chain. That's 101. And I would never put a light on without a safety chain. And he was like, "Oh, when I put a light up, it's not going anywhere." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too, but also I use a safety chain just in case." And as soon as it fell, I looked at him and he looked at me and was like, starts barking orders and is like, "Oh, move this and that," just so he knew what he had done.
Now, I know that you've gone on in this career. I'm just looking at your IMDb page, and I am remembering that there was an incident with Christian Bale on the set of one of the Terminator movies with the lights.
Oh, yeah. Well, he started it, first of all. We got into a
Wow.
prank war.
So you do like pranks.
I'll never start a prank war, but if you prank me, I'm gonna prank you
You'll
back.
finish it. You'll finish it.
code.
They want you.
So yeah, I turned off the lights while Christian Bale was in the bathroom when he cried, and a lot of people heard it, and it was embarrassing. And so he yelled at us, and he reframed it so it didn't seem as embarrassing. But
Well, and I also know that because something now that I'm remembering about you too is that you famously all the time walk around going da 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 da, and he hated that.
You did do that a lot on Fanny Falls too.
Yeah.
I it's one of those things I'm unaware of. I'll just sort of go do 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 while I'm walking around.
Yeah,
But-
you really do.
But Christian Bale hated that. He just hated that. What else have you been up to since Fanny Falls, Saw?
Not much. That was like the last big thing. I do a lot of like smaller productions.
Uh-huh. I mean, you did one of the Terminator movies, but other than that, you just do a lot of smaller productions.
Yeah, so I mean, according to your IMDb, it seems like you're doing a lot of very strangely specific indie movies where a teenage couple falls in love and one of them dies.
That's just sort of where the trend is now. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of
Yeah,
movies like
yeah.
that. There was
Mhm.
like I think one was called Hold Me Baby. That one just came out at the Vancouver Film Festival.
Yeah, you're in It's the Stars' Fault.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
and again, I'm a grip, so they don't want to hear it from me. But I was just like, that is so close to a different movie's name.
I remember you gripped on. Did we take a walk already?
That was a fun movie to
That
be
was a
on.
good one, yeah.
It
Bill
seemed
Murray is just he's a cut up. He's the only one who expects or acts how I expect other actors to act. He just comes up to me
And how's that?
friends with me. We still talk. He's great.
Well, some of us are really busy.
I'm busier than Bill Murray. He still has time to write me a Christmas card.
fun. In fairness, he doesn't take that many projects.
Yeah, he doesn't do as much as everyone thinks. He's actually going around Chicago, showing up at proms and saying, "Oh, can I have a dip of your fondue and your chocolate fountain?"
He loves doing that.
Yeah, he's doing stuff like that. He's not over here hustling and grinding.
No, he's over there harassing his wife and casually gaslighting people,
Yes.
just like any great American hero.
I mean, so don't revere him too much is what I'm trying to say.
I'm just in my experience, he's a very nice guy.
Not all actors.
Well, I guess Solomon, since you're here, we're gonna take a listen to episode 5, Best Self, and I guess you want to stick around and listen to the episode with us. Tell us your memories of making it.
Sure.
Love that. All right, we're gonna go to an ad break, and when we come back, we'll be here with Solomon J. Buckton. Maybe we'll leave that out when we promote the episode. Right here on Fanny Falls, Demon Hunter, the podcast.
Wow.
Hey guys, this is Topher, Jason, and Letty.
Hello.
Hello from the Fanny Falls podcast, and we just wanted
That
to
you
let
are listening to.
That's right. Now, Letty, we have our email list for the podcast where we email people all the time. We couldn't do that ourselves. Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine typing an electronic mail and say, hello, new episode out.
And have to
What's
take
up?
I have to look at a list and say, okay, so this person is AFM1314@AOL.com, and they have to go over to my email and type AFM1314@AOL.com. It's already
I couldn't
taken
be
so long.
bothered. I'm already sleeping.
That's right. So that's what we have a system now. We have a sponsor this week, as a matter of fact, that has a system for that. And that, of course, is Mail Slip. Now, here's what happens with this. You write on a slip of paper who it is that you need to send the email to, right? You send that off to Walla Walla, Washington, beautiful Walla Walla, Washington, where Mail Slip is headquartered. They, in 5 to 7 business days, will get your slip. They'll see what you need to, and they'll give you a phone call about what it is you want to put in the email that's attached to that slip. It's simple.
And then from there, they take it from there. I mean, it's simple, it's easy, it's straightforward. It happens over the course of 14 to 20 days.
Business days.
Yeah, business days.
Yeah.
And what better way, what easier way could you possibly get information out into the ether,
I can't think of a better way to do it.
There's literally not another way.
It would take me that long just to type, although AFM13. Don't email that, by the way. That's my mom's email address. But AFM1314@AOL.com, and so
it would just take too long. I mean, I email that particular email that you just said so much already that my computer started sending the emails back to me, saying get back, and I don't understand what's happening there.
Yeah, I know. And when I send emails to that email address, which is my mom, it's the same thing. I get emails back that say stop contacting me, we're not family anymore, things like that. And so I understand it's some sort of mailer daemon problem where whenever I email my mom, she says, you're out of my life, I have no son. And Mail Slip, I think, could help me with that problem, because then it's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from a third party, so she doesn't know it's me.
And she has to open it.
She has to open it. And then I get a letter back in another 7 business days that says who opened it. Oh, look, my mom. What do you know? Maybe I'll give her a call. I give her a call. She has caller ID, of course. She doesn't pick up.
Not
so they need like a mail slip, but for like phones. You know what I mean? So I can call my mom.
Could you imagine? I mean, in the meantime, we highly suggest using this for all of your mass email needs.
If you have an improv show coming up that people need to know about.
Oh, and they need to know about
it. They absolutely need to know about it in their email.
Yeah.
That's the best way to get to people.
Do you have mild acquaintances that you want to just add to an email list that they have no interest in being a part of? This is exactly for you.
And then, because they're not going to opt out because they're your friends and it would be too weird.
And then they can see that you did. And so you're just kind of sending them emails and they can choose to keep those in their inbox forever and ever.
And it's sort of like, oh, I guess I'm going to send these to spam. And then maybe they'll automatically just start going to spam.
It's such a good idea that you should use our promo code and do it right now.
That's right. Use our promo code Call Me Mom at mailslip.com and you can get 10%. I think you get 10 extra slips for free.
Get some extra slips.
Yeah, we'll get you some extra slips because you're in with us at the Fanny Falls Demon Hunter podcast. Back to the show. Hey, we're back here with Solomon J. Buckton.
Hey.
And of course, Letty Lamora.
Of course.
And we're here to talk about episode 5, Best Self. Big episode for you, Letty. You have a lot to do in this episode.
I mean, the most I think I'd ever had to do at that point.
That's true. It's true. You're in, yeah. And so all three scenes that I pulled from the episode have you in them. Why don't we go ahead and just jump right into the opening scene of the episode? And when we come back, we will discuss it. Here we go. Scene 1 from Best Self, episode 5 of Fanny Falls.
What's this guy's weakness again?
His power center is his proboscis. Eviscerate that, and it should propagate his downfall.
Huh?
His horn, Fanny! Toot toot!
Well, just say that next time. Charles, throw me the axe. Jasmine, can you hold him with a binding spell?
I'll try. Gluten Kylie Dominos. Gluten Kylie
Ophelia,
Dominos.
create a distraction. Ophelia?
So, how long have you been a demon?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Stop it.
You stop it, you're bad.
Oh my god, you're being stupid right now. You're being so bad.
Ophelia!
What?
Are you seriously flirting with a demon?
Fanny!
Oh, sorry.
Oh man, I gotta get out of here. I'll call you.
If my stepmom picks up, just hang up and call back.
What I miss?
Well, the two demons got away despite Ophelia's attempts at vibing one of them to death.
Oh, that guy was a demon?
Oaf. He had 40 arms.
Tell me about it. Why do you think I gave him my number? Mamma mia, Papa Pia. Do you know what he could do with all of those hands?
I honestly can only think of 4 or 5 things tops.
And that, Charles, is why you'll never be a real man.
Okay, but in fairness, neither will Edward 40 Hands back there.
Ophelia, we talked about this. If we got into a scuffle, you were supposed to create a diversion.
And I would argue that I kind of nailed it.
Ophelia, tell me you're not considering going on a date with a demon.
Oh, I don't like to put labels on things. Kind of European that way. Like, I'm kind of British like that.
You can't date a demon. They'll break your heart. I mean, they'll rip it out of your chest. Literally. Some of them eat them. It's nasty stuff. Nasty literal stuff. You know, you ever see a demon take a slicey bite with their pinpuckle teeth through the heart like a big plate of barbecue? It's not going to make you want to go to Golden Corral anytime soon, I'll tell you that much. Nasty literal stuff.
Oh, so let me get this straight. Fanny can have a mummy boyfriend, but when I try to get my womanly needs met in a sexual way...
Ophelia, let me stop you there. Oh, I don't have a follow-up. I just needed you not to finish that disgusting sentence.
We're not even positive that Fanny's bandaged paramour is actually a mummy. Maybe he was just making a bad joke, or maybe
he's actually a mummy.
Well, this is one pyramid scheme I gotta hear about.
Wow, there we are.
Oh my god, what a grand episode.
Scene 1 of episode 5. We're gonna learn more about, and this is of course where we would have talked to Solomon, Solomon in Buckton.
That's okay though.
But I was,
Well,
I
we're
was
fine.
there. I remember that.
You
That
were
was
there,
a
yeah,
sexy
that was-
episode.
This was kind of a sexy episode. We filmed this on location in an alley somewhere in
It was an alley way up north,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It's like Rogers Park.
Rogers Park. We had to go all the way up there.
Yeah.
It was, God, I can't even remember the streets anymore because I was up there like, is this still Chicago? And
Right, yeah. It was
Crazy.
up there around like Wayne and Morse, an alley. So it was. I remember we didn't have a permit. You might remember that, Solomon. That may have affected you more than us.
Yeah, there was a lot of sketchy goings on, sort of.
Yeah,
I think that's sort of, and again, I blame most of this on Paul, the key grip. But yeah, they didn't. I feel like they weren't jumping through all the proper hoops sometimes.
drag Paul, why don't you?
Hey, fuck
Well,
that guy.
well,
Oops,
what-
there goes your.
now we're gonna get that explicit tag.
Ah,
Solomon,
talking about Paul.
when we're filming on location like that, how does that change things for you?
I always like going on, like going out and shooting outside and stuff because I get to sleep on the van ride because I can't
that's
drive,
exciting.
Yeah,
and
you get to smoke while you work.
exactly.
Although it was
And,
1997, we were smoking in the studio pretty regularly.
but I could smoke other stuff, like
Oh, okay.
What?
marijuana.
What-
I
what-
freebased a little back then.
Oh,
It was a wild time,
It
1997.
was.
I didn't know that people were doing that. I was just fully microdosing mushrooms every day. I thought some of the monsters were real.
Yeah, it shows, and I gotta say, it shows in your performance.
Thank you.
Yes.
Acting. You have to do what you have to do to get the performance.
Acting indeed. And that one you mentioned being British.
I know. It's kind of like a fun Easter egg for my life.
Foreshadowing.
An Easter egg that you would one day marry Cairo, a British man.
We did meet at the final wrap party of the show. So
Really?
It's kind of full circle. Yeah.
Why was Cairo there? Is he connected somehow?
He was at the time, kind of messy that he was friends with Solomon, the other one.
Yeah, right. Yes.
We were also friends.
Yeah.
You're friends with Cairo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we were all friends.
How did you know him? He was just friends. He just came to the thing. They met in, like an acting class.
Didn't Cairo used to live in a guest house?
Well,
yeah. He did used to live in Mark Ruffalo's guest house.
This is at a time when Mark Ruffalo should not have been able to afford a guest house.
He had a very small house and a smaller guest house. One might argue it was a shed.
Yeah, and so that's where Cairo was staying, and
that's where he was staying when he's trying to make it in the biz, and he was out there, he's being a script assistant and all that.
And
I know him from the guest house groups, but I also just know him from around, from the biz. You get to work it and you get to meet everybody.
Did you invite him to that rap party?
I might have. I probably invited everybody in my phone book. I do it all the time to every event I'm invited to. You invite me, you're inviting my phone book. That's what I say.
So wait a minute,
afterwards.
Letty, this is the man who's responsible for you meeting your husband.
I didn't know about that.
That's neat.
It doesn't sound.
This below the line grip is the guardian angel of your relationship.
Oh my God! Did he used to hang out in your guest house crew?
Yeah, I mean at the meetings, we would all meet up at Shaquille O'Neal's guest house. Jim was the guy who lived in it.
He did tell me about that. He's not here right now. Otherwise, I'd ask him. He's obviously busy filming a new Angelina Jolie picture called "I'm Upset in My Marriage at the Sea." But I can't believe it.
I can't wait to see that movie. I've seen some of the scenes in the trailer where she marries the sea.
Yes, and she looks very angry towards it in silence. Yeah. I guess I have to say thank you for shifting the trajectory of my entire life.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You've never said thank you to me. That took a lot for you.
I didn't say to you.
No, you've never said it to me. That's what I'm saying. You've never said it to me.
Yeah, well, one day, if perhaps there was something to be thankful for, yes, of course.
Well, when I come visit, I'll bring a bottle of wine or something, then you can say thank you.
Yeah, maybe. It'd be a nice bottle of wine. I'm kind of scared.
Okay, all right.
I'm scared it's going to be some wolf juice.
Okay, wait, hang on. You know that the wolves can't make wine, right? They make a beautiful small batch bourbon that tastes delicious and slightly of wolf urine.
So that's the thing that actually scares me.
It sounds like it's probably just wolf urine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like
fermented wolf urine.
Okay.
But it's a small batch bourbon, because I understand they do send it to Kentucky to be sort of distilled, and then it becomes the bourbon. Now let's talk to you real quick. I think they're our sponsor next week, so we'll talk more about that next week.
I can't wait.
But this is the only scene of mine that I pulled of the episode. I am in a B plot for the rest of the episode.
Oh, that's right.
I'm trying to remember it now, but I think that what it was I joined a new gym.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a hot girl at the gym.
You joined a gym for women.
Yes. It's all hot girls at the gym.
It's all hot girls at the gym. Yes, because it's called Hourglasses.
And it's Hourglasses, and I go there, but it's such a good gym that I don't want to give up my membership, so I dress up like a woman to go to the gym. And really, I think this was all part of some sort of sick game that Colby was playing with me.
Mrs. Doubtfire meets the gym.
It's like Ladybugs, but a few years or later. You remember Ladybugs, which Rodney Dangerfield and Jack A?
Jackie. Oh my
know.
gosh, she was so funny in that
I know.
film.
So yeah, so the rest of the episode is me sort of figuring out, are they going to figure out that I'm a man? Am I, I hope that, they're going to see me taking the orange out of my bra and eating of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you did a lot of fun bra work, if I remember correctly. A lot of like stuffing things into your bra off camera.
There's a compilation of that on the DVD extras, right? Of you just trying all the different fruits. And
there's a
being like,
super cut. They did what the kids call a super cut. And then
Also, yeah, she sent those bloopers to America's Funniest Home Videos. And so there's also a super cut of you dropping things from your bra with the song playing, the America.
This is that was
that was so funny that she did that.
And then also on the DVD is they have a thing it's called a lime-o-rama because I kept showing the different limes that were in my bra, and they were like half cut because they look better on camera that way. And of course, I have very bad chest acne, so I have chacne, and that burned a lot in sort of my more open sores and pustules and whatnot.
Gashes that you have.
But again, I think that's all part of this sick game that Colby was playing.
It was kind of
especially because limes are more famous for being like acidic than they are like
looking like boobs.
Yeah, they're rather small and hard.
Yeah.
They're not big juicy yum yums.
Yeah, and that's so of course the line that one of the women in the locker room says to me, like, "Oh, I thought that you'd have big juicy yum yums, but those are actually just shaped like little limes."
He said those are itty bitty limes, and that was.
And I say, "What? They're not limes."
There was a lot of lines like that actually, where big-breasted women would say, "Oh, I thought you had big fat naturals, but it looks like you have itty bitty mosquito bites."
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, a very large woman comes to me and says, "Oh, I thought you had some hangers. I thought you had some hangers, swangers, big dang bangers, but I'm pretty sure that you're just a little flat. You're flat as a board, stiff as a feather."
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the scene. I don't know if it made the cut, but at the end of the episode when you're like looking in the mirror and being like, "Wow, I sure did learn a lot about how women with weird titties must feel." But I don't know if they left that in.
They wouldn't let that word on the air at the time.
That's unfortunate.
And you insisted on not using another word.
Yeah.
Like this, I want to be true to my character.
Well, I wanted women with weird titties to know that I was in their corner and to know that I wanted them to feel seen.
And you personally wanted that? Because that's why you added that in. And Colby had a fit. She said, "This is not the message of the show."
Yeah. She did not enjoy that I was.
In fact, I remember her saying that her message is the exact opposite, that she wanted flat-chested women to feel bullied.
Yeah. And that's that. I said, can't we sort of do something for these? And, and in retrospect, it's not the most sensitive thing in the world, but at the time I was referring to them as these weird tittied women, as there.
Yeah, those were also just your choice of words at the time.
WTWs, you call them.
This whole conversation, it caused many women on set and in the cast and crew to get breast implants.
So every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah.
I was a fan of that.
It changed all of our careers.
Let's jump into scene 2 here from the episode. So this is Fanny on her first real date that we see her on with Nathan, the mummy, and he's just confirmed to her that she's a mummy, but they're gonna have some company on that date, aren't they, Letty?
Oh my god, I can't wait to hear it again.
Okay, here's this scene. We'll be right back after scene 2 from episode 5.
So, when you were turned mummy, there's got to be a better word for that. Mummicated? Bemummied?
I was born in 1361 BC in the land you now call Egypt.
BC? You mean before?
Never met the man.
Must have been hard for you, bombing around ancient Egypt with a silly name like Nathan?
My birth name was Pharaoh Akhenaten, son of Amenhotep III, grandson of Thutmose IV, ruler of the 18th dynasty of... Wait, you think Nathan's a silly name?
Are you planning on getting to the mummiization part before our dessert comes, or...?
It all started with a woman, Hehet. She stole my heart from the moment I first saw her.
Wait, you have a girlfriend?
Fanny, she's married.
Oh.
And dead.
Oh.
For about 3,300 years.
You know what? I'm just going to hold all questions till the end of, well, this breadstick at least.
As Pharaoh, I thought I had all the power in the world. But Fanny, I didn't know what power was. Hehet's husband, he had power. He had somehow harnessed the Heka, the force used by the Creator to make the world. He had me killed, mummified, and cursed to live in this form for eternity.
Oh, mummified. Wait. So you've just been walking the earth for 3,300 years?
I slumbered for most of it. I woke up in the 1930s when a drunk custodian at the Field Museum knocked over my tomb. And let me tell you, the 30s was not a great time to be a mummy. Boris Karloff did me no favors. But that's not all. The man who made me what I am, it was clear to me even then that he had already been around for a long time, building power. Fanny, it was...
The professor. This is huge. We gotta tell Miss T.
Hey, watch it! This dress is worth more than most Picassos. Fanny?
Ophelia? What are you doing here?
Oh, I just wanted to take myself out. I mean, I deserve it, right, girl?
Garcon, 40 Heinekens, chop chop.
Ophelia, I know you're not here whining and dining with that 40-handed demon.
Thanks, Toots.
You know I'm a demon hunter, right? It's my sacred birthright to defend the entire Chicagoland area from demons, and you are treating it like it's goddamn video dating.
And I expect you're just here all by your little lonesome.
Nathan is on our side.
And I'm supposed to believe that just because you want to squeeze the Charmin? Mummies are demons. It's not that hard, Fanny. Oh my god. If Boris Karloff played them, they're evil.
Karloff.
I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Enjoy your date. We have actual demon hunting to do. Come on, Nathan.
Try the shrimp carbonara. It's divine.
Oh, that's good. I was thinking I'd start off with a drink, maybe a hypocrisy breeze, then a salad with some holier-than-thousand island dressing. Maybe some twice-faced potatoes. Do you get it? Are you leaving? I have like 5 more of these.
Sorry, sweaty palms.
All right. Wow. Okay. A lot there.
Very exciting.
We got all of Nathan's backstory. He was mummified by the professor. And then we got Ophelia on the date with Manibus, the demon, who we haven't said who played Manibus yet.
I know, and I think that our audiences are going to be very delighted and surprised.
I think you're going to be surprised because you can't tell under all the makeup and all the 40 hands and all the voice.
But it is James Gandolfini.
It is the great James Gandolfini, just on the nick of when he was about to film The Sopranos.
I know. It's crazy because it's like if only this had been a reoccurring role, what would have happened?
Well, would not The Sopranos.
Not The Sopranos.
We would have been making The Sopranos with little Stevie Van Zandt as Tony Soprano, you know?
I don't think so.
Not in my America. Solomon, what you were on location for that?
Oh yeah.
This was filmed on location in a restaurant.
Yeah, I'm still friends with. Well, I was friends with James. I'm still friends with his now widow. We hang out. I'll bring a dinner. You know, and we'll just sort of talk and remember
Some gabagool.
Exclusively.
Bring over some manigot and some gabagool.
Yeah.
Mozzarella, right? All some of that stuff. What do you bring over? Some provolone. Bring over some prosciutto.
Is that how you say all those words?
But mostly gabagool.
Yeah, you know, the real Italians, they cut off the last syllable.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Gabagool.
Gabagool, a little pepperoni.
Oh, yes, I love to order a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, see, now you're getting it.
Now I'm getting it. Now I understand all of your ways.
And so, yeah, so Jimmy was a very nice guy on the set. I, of course, was over there with limes in my bra. I wasn't really seeing him that much, but you had a lot of scenes with them, Letty.
Yes, he was a gentleman. He was a perfect gentleman. I mean, I never would have guessed that he would become this boorish mafia boss years later. You know, he was an absolute gentleman. I mean, Solomon, did you interact with him much?
Oh yeah. We were hanging out lots. He's a real shit shooter.
A shit shooter.
Somebody you could just tell a story with.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's fun. That's really fun to have a shit shooter around.
He must have had some good stories, huh?
Oh no, he was. He really told terrible stories.
Okay, but he just liked to listen.
He's just so nice.
That's
He's
really
just-
wonderful.
So he was a shit shooter. He just wasn't very good at it.
Yeah,
He was sort of a shit shooter.
exactly.
Okay.
Oh, so I understand now. It was you hung out. Would you say that you were friends?
Oh yeah.
It feels like you're friends with everybody.
I feel like you guys are the only ones I'm not who don't consider me like pretty much most people I work with. I just make friends.
Are you friends with Thora, who played Fanny, Thora Ann Green, my ex-wife?
You speaking like you're British now.
I don't think I'm speaking like I'm British at all.
Okay.
At all.
At all. But yeah, do you keep in touch with Fanny? Because I've said before, like I'd love to have her on the show.
With Thora, I don't think Thora's going to do the show on account of our messy divorce, but I've written
She might
letters
be in
to
my
her.
phone book.
Yeah, because did you invite people to this podcast because they're in your phone book and because you do that with everything you go to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe Thora could get the word that way, Letty, and maybe it comes from Solomon. I don't know.
I mean, I don't. I mean, hey, I don't want to put you in a position in which you're not very comfortable, but it.
Oh, I'm
does-
comfortable.
Oh yeah, it would seem insane to never have Fanny on the Fanny Falls podcast.
And why can't you get in touch with her? Why?
I don't have a phone.
Here, I'm gonna text
You're
her.
you're scrolling on Twitter right now, like while I'm talking to you.
No, that's not Twitter. That's Goop.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. That's health stuff. So that's okay.
I'm
I didn't
texting her
even-
now. What should I say?
Oh my god.
What should he say?
Oh my god. What should he say? What should he say? Say
Bear in
Topher's
mind,
not-
everybody in my phone book is gonna see this.
Oh, it's a group thing. It's kind of like the mail slip.
Yeah. He only sends.
I only have one big text change, and it's everybody in my phone book.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, go on. I guess maybe other
Okay.
people will want to be on it.
So say Topher's not here. Start with that.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to
Topher's not
stop.
here.
Trust me, that would be the first thing she'd want to know. I'm told that like to this day, whenever she gets invited to something, that's always her first question is Topher there?
Okay, sent that. Now I'm just getting a lot of question marks.
From other people.
Everybody's very confused.
Are any of them from Thora?
No, she hasn't seen it yet. 119 so far have seen it.
This is quite exciting. It's kind of like press for a podcast.
Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Okay. Okay, well, while we're waiting for more things to come in, why don't we listen to the final scene?
Okay.
This is one of our supersized scenes, but this is the final scene from episode 5. Big scene for you and for Thora. And what's happening here is they've gone back to Miss Thickness to tell them, Nathan has information on the professor. And she says, I'm about to go right now to investigate a lead on a demon that we think is associated with the professor. So this is them searching a demon's nest who they think is associated with the professor. Here we go.
Wow, my first demon lair. It's not what I expected. Kind of like my dad's apartment after the divorce, but with rocks for walls. Is this what yours is like?
I have a condo in Old Town.
Wow, I had no idea being a mummy paid so well. Tell me, do you have a 401k too? A membership to the Harbor Yacht Club?
Let's just say I had unfettered access to some ancient Egyptian artifacts.
Seems to be a lot of that going around, huh? Hey, let's split up and look for clues. You look over there, away from the rest of us, where we can't see your dumb face.
Sure.
Fanny, I am not so sure you should have brought this young man with us.
But he has information about the professor, Miss T. He wants to help.
Well, isn't that a fine plate of poutine? He shows up right at the same time as the professor, and we're just supposed to trust that he's on our side? And what's going on with you two anyways?
I don't know. We had dinner. He told me about his mummization.
Mummification.
Miss T, I admit, you know a lot of stuff I don't. All about the demons. The big words like mummification. You're having trouble trusting me for some reason right now, and I get that. But I know I know things sometimes. I just do. And I just know that Nathan is a champion for good.
You're right. I'm sorry, Fanny. The truth is I may be projecting some of my baggage onto you. If I'm being protective of you dating a demon, it's because...
Guys?
Did you find something?
Only that our demon is apparently a bit of a fitness freak.
Sweet Saskatoon, who would need this many dumbbells?
Wait, you don't think...
Yeah, it's called Mad TV. It's so funny. It's like Mad Magazine, but as a TV show. I have some episodes taped if you want. demon hunter, Mummy. And I'm sorry, I don't know you.
I'm Miss Thickness. I teach gym at the high school, and I like to think I'm a bit of a mentor to all these guys.
Great.
Oh my god, Fanny, obsessed much? When are you going to learn that you can't control my decisions? I'm a free woman.
Believe it or not, Ophelia, the sun don't rise and set in your britches.
You know, I think we're all getting a little heated here. Maybe we could all cool off and just talk to your friend for a second.
I would love to talk. I would love to talk about how Fanny goes around town with Michelin Boy over there, but when I actually meet a good guy who happens to be a demon, yeah, sue me, you can't give him a chance. There's a word for that, you guys, and that word is prejudice. And I refuse to let it stand. So if you think, I'm sorry, hey Manimus, babe, what are you holding in your hand?
Huh? Oh, this hand? Nothing. See? Empty.
Your other hand.
My keys? Hello? What, has she never seen keys before?
Your other hand. Left side, third from the bottom.
Fine.
I don't get it. He had a basketball behind it. Oh, it's a human head! Dear God, it's a human head!
Is that the chef's head from the restaurant?
It was a gift. I was gonna surprise you. You said your shrimp was overcooked.
Oh my god.
You know what? I would have actually made you really happy because I'm actually a really nice guy, but you're clearly just a fake-ass slut. Oh well, at least I'll have fun murdering you and your friends.
Nathan, the axe!
No! He's mine.
Well, as impressive as that was, we actually needed that guy alive. He was our one link to...
You know what? Ophelia gets a pass on that one. She had a rough night. You okay?
Fanny, I'm sorry.
Nope, no need. We're good. You're a grown woman, and I should have trusted you to make your own decisions.
But my decisions were dumb. He would have killed me.
I wouldn't have let it get that far.
I know. You have a sacred birthright to defend the entire Chicagoland area from demons. Like, Earth to Fanny, I've heard you talk before.
No, not because of that. Ophelia, we're friends. I mean, you're one of my only friends. And I can't imagine the world without Ophelia around to dredge my pork chops. That keeps me humble.
And I need a Fanny in my life to protect me from the dark forces of evil and spout off southern idioms I'm pretty sure are made up. Hey, did you see the way I decapitated that guy? I could probably do your job. Is the Demon Hunters Guild thingy hiring? Do I have to pay some dues? What's the deal here?
We both know that's not going to happen.
I know. Can you imagine me with a job? Gross.
Should we clean up these heads?
I usually leave them to freak out vagrants. I forget if I ever told you about the time I saw a headless horseman in Saskatchewan.
Wow, there it is, episode 5 in the books.
Oh my god.
That poor demon.
There's
What
a
do
lot
you
of...
mean?
He was
do you
just
wanna-
being a nice guy.
What? Wait, you thought the demon was just being a nice guy, but he was like a demon.
That's it. That's a little closed-minded.
Oh, so
Like-
you is that like something that did you see yourself maybe in the way that you felt like he was being nice, but then
That
you
she
sort
was
of
being a slut. Yeah.
You know that the show isn't a message to you. You know that, right?
yeah, it's more about how wrong that is that he killed
Yeah.
that man.
I mean, but how is he's a demon? You got to tell him these things.
Like you saying he doesn't know better.
Yeah, I'm saying sometimes guys make horrible mistakes, and you should be nice. Then as long as they're trying to be nice, women should be more forgiving of guys who do horrible stuff. That's all I'm saying.
That I do agree with. That I do agree with because they're whether you may have mistreated a pet or something in your day.
Bring up the pet again.
I'm just as an example. It's just as an example of something that you could have done that maybe people should be more forgiving about. I don't know. I see where this is sort of morally ambiguous. This episode.
I don't think it's morally ambiguous. And I'm not reading into it enough, but it does feel like it's simply about killing a demon.
Now you're biased because you're so close to the character.
Well, I mean, I was in it, yeah, and I felt it.
In it.
Yeah, I was in it. I was in it, but I also think I walked away with the message. Perhaps I walked away with the lesson that Ophelia did learn, which was to kill the demon because he was going to destroy pretty much all human race.
Yeah, I know that like a lot of times at cons, when we're doing cons talking about the show, guys will come up to me and shake my hand and they'll be like, man, that demon was my favorite character. He was so right about everything.
They shake your hand and say that to you.
I don't know why they say it to me.
Did they know that you were dressed as a woman in a gym during this episode?
Well, that episode in syndication, my stuff is cut.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and that's weird. That's a weird deal that Colby made with syndication, that whenever the show airs in syndication, no matter, even if you don't need to cut time from the show, they will always cut my scenes, so I don't get any of that money.
Yeah, that's true.
So some people don't even know that I'm on the show till they get the DVDs or something like that.
That's kind of exciting. It's kind of a surprise, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I'm sort of like the, I'm like the Easter egg cast member.
Really fun.
So I don't know. It's sort of, again, I see how people get different messages from this, but also there's they're teased there with Miss Thickness about clearly she has some sort of demon love story in her past.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's coming. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry, guys. If it's your first time watching the show with us, don't worry. That's coming.
I mean,
we try not to spoil stuff, but
no spoilers.
That's coming. Solomon, any memories on that last scene in the demon cave?
Oh yeah, that was a nightmare to light, or to diffuse the light rather.
Yeah, because it's all rocks. It was all rock walls. Yeah,
that's true. It was really, and they were real rocks.
It's one of those scenes where it's like it's in a cave. Things shouldn't be well lit. You gotta people's holding torches, a few torches on the walls,
and they were not just real rocks; they were real rock walls. I know that they went to a local Planet Fitness and they got the rock walls, and they made those the side of the set. And I remember, God, Solomon N, who played Nathan, he was so in shape, of course, and he would just climb that thing and climb and climb.
My God, it just got me so haunty.
I know.
He would climb up there and he would go and make you haunty, baby.
I do want to mention that in that scene, you finally you tried to get Earth 2 into a lot of your scenes.
Yeah,
you finally got it in on that one, I noticed.
That was kind of a fun improvisational moment that I was allowed to finally, do because, I really, if I'm being totally honest for the fans, I got Earth 2 from Colby because when she was trying to give me a directing line and she felt like I wasn't getting it, she would go, Earth to Letty.
And we would laugh so hard. We hadn't heard that much in the 90s.
Yeah. And so then I started saying it. And then I get into things and she would go, stop it, that's my thing.
She would get so mad. But I think when she saw it in the edit, she couldn't deny.
It was real. It was that. And I tried a few more times, but I think they were all edited out.
But I know that the night this aired, she called you on the phone and sort of had a real whispery threat phone call to you about I left that in this time, but you better watch your back, Missy.
Yeah, it was I did this one favor for you. Now you're expected to do 10 favors for me.
Yeah, now you're my slave. I think she said...
You called me a slave,
yeah. It was definitely like your contract was updated with that word.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Now, I don't want to take her side, but what'd you do? Because I got along with her just fine on set.
What do you mean, what did I do? I was an actor on her show. I was treated well compared to Topher.
Solomon, can I ask you a question just based on your last couple of comments here? What subreddits do you frequent?
Oh, fuck Reddit. I moved on to the Voat.
Okay. I don't think I know this one.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like, Reddit's all politically correct now, and you can't say what you want to say. So
amen.
I don't know if that's true. I see people buying shares at Game Shop calling everyone the R word.
Ruckus.
By the way, I bought so many shares of Game Shop and nothing. I've seen no returns.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully that works out for you soon from Game Shop.
Yeah, because everyone else is seeing so much money from Game Shop, but I'm not getting anything. Reminds me of when I used to take my games there to sell them.
Yeah, there's like a forum kind of like that on Vote. It's called Money Fun, and and they're not as good. They haven't made money. I've lost a lot of money following them. So
what are they investing in?
Circuit City.
Oh, I remember
Right.
that place.
This was like last year they invested in Circuit City, right?
Yeah, currently,
Yeah.
it's like Circuit City Futures, I guess.
Well, I don't really know about America, but we don't have those in England, so.
You should be able to invest in pasts.
Uh,
I would make so much money if I could invest in pasts. I would buy Bitcoin pasts right now.
okay,
But-
now you should do stand-up
This-
comedy.
Well, this is in my 5 that I've been trying to work out. As we talked about how we talked in our first podcast episode about how I got booed off the Laugh Factory stage. But that's, I think this bit, I already forgot it. Oh no.
I don't, it's okay. You can re-listen to the podcast and then remember it and then put it in there.
And I will. I always listen to all my podcasts and watch. I have a thing where I can't watch any show that I wasn't in.
Oh, that's fascinating. I also don't watch anything that I wasn't in or that my husband didn't make.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about you? Do you have that, Solomon?
Yeah, I only watch stuff I grip on, which is a lot. I stay busy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been reading a lot of books.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm not watching that many things lately.
But yeah, I understand you also only read books that you're in.
Yeah, I do. Yes, unfortunately, yeah. One of my former lovers, I was his muse for a detective series that he wrote. So, I do have a never-ending supply of the detective series.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Are you the sort of the detective character, or like the?
No, I am the villain.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's specifically a detective.
Like a
who's-
Moriarty.
She's solving underwater crimes, and so
Yeah. In fact, isn't her name Maria Artie?
the villainess, yes, she's
Yeah.
a sea witch, kind of like an Ursula spin-off.
Well, actually, I
I like
read those
that.
books. She's described as a C word witch.
Yeah, it is true. It's a C word witch. It's a
Yeah.
cunt witch for our English listeners.
Oh yeah, you guys can say that over there.
Yeah.
We're
and
definitely
so-
gonna get that explicit tag now.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. It feels good to be a muse.
I kind of follow that same rule. I don't read any books that I'm not in because I'm illiterate.
I guess that's a good way to do it then.
Yeah, I used to. I swear.
And of course, this has been covered on the podcast, but the wolves read to me. The wolves would read to me, and that's how I would read all my scripts.
I went to school and I learned how to read, and then I just didn't do it for like 20 years. And it's like riding a bike. You
It's
can't
like
do it after a long time.
Reading is like riding a bike. A lot of people say that.
how that goes as well.
Listen, we got to get to our question of the
Gotta
week.
do our audience question.
And let's see. This one comes. Oh, this is nice. This one comes from Fanny Falls fan 1965. Oh, how old is this person?
Oh, fun. Disco queen.
This person wants to know, were there any people who were almost on the show? Any celebrities that were almost on the show, but then didn't work out for whatever reason? Now, we've already talked about Kristen Chenoweth, of
Right.
course.
Oh my
But
God.
see if we can pull any other ones.
Well, I mean, everyone wanted to be a part of this show.
Yeah, it was the hottest thing in 1997.
It was the hardest thing. And Colby, of course, told us all that we were not the first choice.
Hmm.
But I know that Thora wasn't even, she wasn't like an immediate yes either,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
If I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah, it was originally, I think, going to be Salt from Salt and Pepper.
Oh, yes. And
Yeah.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC had also expressed interest, and that was enough for Colby to consider it for a while.
Yeah, especially because I know Lisa Lopez said we're working on a channel based on our band, which of course turned into TLC,
The Learning Channel.
the Learning Channel. But that people don't know that was originally seeded by Left Eye, Chili, and T-Boz.
And originally, my role, I heard anyway from Colby, who told me every day that Apollonia wanted to play it. And I said,
Princess.
"Well, yeah, Princess Apollonia." And I
Yeah.
said, "Isn't she, about 10 years too old for this part?" And Colby said, "I'm sorry, how old are you?"
Real rude.
Mm-hmm.
And how old were you?
When I did this part, 20.
Yeah.
Were we all
Tops.
so young?
Tops, were we ever so young?
God.
I know that my part was supposed. I heard that it got all the way to like very late in the casting process was going to be The Undertaker.
Oh,
the wrestler. Yeah,
that would have been fun.
it would have been
That
fun
would be real cool. I love
because
that
people
guy.
don't realize how funny he is.
Yeah.
But apparently the word that I got was he too scary.
He too scary.
Yeah, he too scary on set, and he make everybody too scared.
I know that. Also, I know we did go with James Gandolfini, but Vincent Price was originally considered.
He was supposed to do it, and we were
For
going to
this
have him sort of
episode.
do a narration at the top and bottom of the show. There was just like darkness falls on the town of Chicago, so that kind of thing.
So good, yeah, so good.
Solomon, was anyone famous supposed to have your part?
Was anyone supposed to be a grip?
I don't. Are there any famous grips? I don't know.
That's the question, isn't it?
I
What are we doing here?
There's Tim Thompson, the guy who dropped the light on Kristen Chenoweth. Everybody knows that guy. That's more
everybody
infamous.
knows him.
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
fame and there's infamy, you know?
I mean, wow. I'm glad that none of these people were in it.
That's true. Hey, if they would have been, they wouldn't have been as good at podcasting as us. They wouldn't have, been as good at raising ocelots and
that's really what it's all about. Was it all manifested for this podcast?
Yeah, that's where every path, people always say, don't you wish things would have gone differently? Don't you wish you would have treated your pets better? Don't you wish that you would have, not, gotten into a fight with an inflatable snowman in your front yard and then you and Thora wouldn't have gotten divorced? Don't you wish that
is that what happened? Is that why? Is that the actual reason why?
I had a drunk fight with a snowman, an inflatable snowman that was in our front yard that I was convinced she was cheating on me with.
It had nothing to do with the death of
several pets.
Exotic birds.
No, and that's, birds, people don't know this. Birds can't really die. They rise from the ashes. And so killing a bird is not,
that feels
count.
like some wolf mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, that's in the Wolf Bible.
Oh, speaking of which, she just texted me back.
Oh, wait, Thora?
She said, I know that means Topher's there.
She knows all my tricks.
Wow, she knows you so well. She really was married to you.
Can you do me a favor? Can you text my second wife, Tara Reid, and just say Topher's not here and see what happens?
She's in that thread already, so she already saw the message that said Topher's not here.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get Thora on the show. Maybe we'll get Tara on the show. Solomon, do you want to plug any of your grip work coming up?
Yeah, let me think.
Do some plugs.
I heard in Louisville, Kentucky, they've got really good trivia at a place called Planet of the Tapes.
Wow.
One of my friends who grips in Louisville said it's very well constructed, good lighting.
When do
that's nice.
When do they do the trivia?
It's Tuesdays.
Trivia on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays.
My accent keeps going back up to more north. I'm in witness protection. I know I'm not supposed to say that. The accent I was doing the whole time is fake. This is my real one. Ooh, I'm gonna have to move.
Wait a minute. Were you in witness protection when you got to the set and they need you to pick a name and you said, I'll take his name?
Yeah, I panicked.
So that's how you ended up with the same name as our Solomon Buckton.
Yes.
Okay.
You're in witness protection program and you didn't talk about it at all.
I was doing really good.
Did you not think that could have been a more interesting podcast than whatever this shit was? We're
Solomon,
done with the
I'm going to get yelled at after this.
I'm going to yell at you right now.
Right now.
Because we thought you were an entirely different person. The podcast is over. We just did plugs, and now you tell us an interesting story. We had to listen to you talk about, I gotta put the light here, I gotta do the light here. Do you know how boring that was?
You told us how many stories about grip stuff and lighting.
You guys don't want to hear about me being a teenager in the mob and.
What the? We literally brought up the mob.
Well, this plays right into my plugs.
It brought out my accent. I kept trying to push it back down.
This plays right into
your plugs.
This goes right into my plugs because I think this would make a great season 2 of what happened on this episode, not what's going to happen on the next episode. My true crime podcast that I'm working on for NPR on spec, of course, on spec. Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll pick it up.
I hope they do as well.
What do you got going on, Letty?
Oh well, the Oscars are coming up.
Yeah,
the Oscar nominees were announced.
Mm-hmm. And you again weren't nominated.
But one can always hope that the Oscars are in my future.
Yeah, you did not work last year.
Nobody did, though.
Well, some people did because they were nominated for Oscars.
It was really a time of reflection and unity for a lot of us.
Okay, well then let's come strong. Let's both get nominated for Oscars this year.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Solomon, maybe
Oscars.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a grip Oscar.
They do. It's just not aired.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, it's so goddamn boring. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm just.
Well, I'm going to be watching the technical Oscars to see if Solomon gets nominated for a Best Grip Oscar. And Letty, we'll all be rooting for you.
Well, I probably won't be there because I'll be in some other state under a different name.
I swear to God, I can't. I swear to God.
Keep in touch. Keep in touch with me for season 2 of happening on this episode. Now what's gonna happen on the next episode. And until then, thank you guys. Thank you to all the Fanny Falls fans. We appreciate you guys. Keep telling the network you want more episodes, and we'll see what happens. But until then, keep it Fanny and keep it Fallsy. Hey guys, Andy Fleming here. I co-host Fanny Falls Demon Hunter as Topher Jason. You probably can't tell because the voice I do is so different. I just want to shout out our cast for this episode. Mandy McKelvey as Thora Ann Green as Fanny Falls. Sarah Shockey as Brett Bilkerson as Miss Thickness. Mars Timms as Solomon Nairobi Buckton as Nathan the Mummy. Jessica Mance as Nutella as Jasmine Feinberg. Stephanie Weber, my amazing co-host, as Letty Lamora as Ophelia Orkin. And little old me, Andy Fleming, as Charles. And in this episode, Manibus, the 40-handed demon. And of course, our guest for this episode, Greg Welsh, who played Solomon J. Buckton, the Grip. I am simply begging you to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbfun. That's the Patreon for the whole Dumb Fun family of podcasts. 30 characters, as well as Musical, the Movie, the podcast where me and Steph Smith watch different musical movies with a theater guest and a comedy guest. Then we talk about them, and I write a new song for every musical we watch. Sounds fun, right? It is. You can support all 3 shows for as little as $2 a month, and that money doesn't just go to me, it goes to all the hosts of the Dumb Fun family of podcasts. Thank you guys for checking out the podcast. It really means a lot. Tell a friend, give us a review, write about it on social media. We really appreciate it. And until next time, keep it Fanny and keep it Fallsy. Fun Dumb.